Back on the Young Turks. Now joining us, Congressman Rob Andrews from New Jersey's 1st Congressional District. Congressman, welcome back to the Young Turks.
Guys, thanks for having me back again. I appreciate it.
No, we appreciate your time. I want to talk to you about health care, but before we do that, I got to ask you a couple of questions about bipartisanship and Obama's efforts in that regard. Congressman George Miller says that even after Obama reaches out again, he will still get 0 Republican votes. Do you agree with Congressman Miller, or do you think there's any hope that the Republicans will play along?
I think George Miller's right, and I think what the president's doing is laying bare for the whole country the sham of the Republican Party saying it wants bipartisanship. They don't want bipartisanship. They want this president to fail, and they want to appear like they want to cooperate. So I think what the president's doing is calling their bluff. You know, they want discussions on national television. Good. They're going to get that on February 25th. And the public will get a chance to see what they are for and what we're for, and how willing the Republicans are to compromise. I don't think they want to compromise at all. I think, Senator Senator Jim DeMint from South Carolina said this very clearly a couple of months ago, that we will break Barack Obama on health care. That's their agenda.
Now, Congressman Andrews, in my estimation, what's really important is not the bipartisan summit, but what happens after the summit. Because if the Republicans continue to give 0 votes to the proposals, which is what most people's guess is as to how they're going to proceed, what do you do then? Do you continue to reach out to them and waste a tremendous amount of time, or will the White House finally bring out the whooping stick?
I think you pass the bill without them if that happens. I think what ought to happen on the 25th is the president will say, look, this is what we're for. We should control costs by having more competition, getting more people covered, and requiring the insurance companies to live by fair rules. Which one of those 3 things are you for? Which one are you against? And if they want to talk about tort reform, there is tort reform in this bill. If they want to talk about interstate competition, there is interstate competition in this bill. If they want to negotiate in good faith, he will and we should. But I don't think they want to do that, frankly. And if they fail to do that, we should pass a bill. We should use the majority rule procedure in the Senate. It has been used 22 times in the last 30 years. It is the normal procedure for key economic legislation, not extraordinary. You know, they didn't think there was any problem with it when the Bush tax cuts passed in 01 and 03 by reconciliation. So, I mean, I think we have to pass a bill without them if they're unwilling to cooperate.
I think the key question then, Congressman, is what should be in reconciliation? Because you're right, passing it with 51, of course, seems a lot more doable. Then you don't need any of the Republicans. But what is it that the House side is basically demanding be in that reconciliation bill?
We want to get as many people covered as we can. We want to make the policies as affordable as possible for the person who drives a truck or waits on tables or cleans buildings. We want this cost to be paid for in the most fair way possible, which I think is the people at the top 2 or 3% pay the most. I don't think we should have this excise tax on so-called high-cost insurance policies, because I don't think it's a good idea for middle-class people. So those are the things I think we'd like to see.
I noticed one thing notably missing from that list, and that would be the public option or Medicare buy-in or anything else that controls costs by creating competition for private insurance.
I'm for all those things. I don't think there are 51 votes in the Senate for it. You know, a lot of these guys,
I don't think there's 3 votes in the Senate
for it. Boy, when
it
it comes time to vote, they're not willing to put the green light up.
So, but Congressman Andrews, then basically we were lied to all along, because before the Senate Democrats said, "Oh, we don't have the 60 votes for it. Obviously, we'd have 51, but what can we do? It's the Republicans' fault." So, no, it turns out we don't have the 51 votes.
What I think we ought to do is what the House did on November 7th. We had a bill with a public option in it. We put up for a vote, and we passed it. I think the Senate should put the public option up. They should ask their members if they're for or against it and let people take a position. But in my read of this and in conversations I've had, it looks like they don't have 51. I think it's regrettable, but I don't think they have 51.
Yeah, I don't think they have 4 votes for it. They never wanted it. They always wanted to take the corporate money, and they're going to continue taking that corporate money.
Well, again, you know, the House, we started with a stronger version of the public option. We got what we could, but we got one. Mm-hmm. And we all took a position on it. We all took a vote. And the Senate, some of these guys love to sign letters, but they don't like to cast votes.
Yeah, well, that's definitely true. So let's talk about timeline real quick. People are saying that this happens by Easter. Is that roughly right? And if it is Easter, what are we waiting on?
I don't know about a timeline. You know something? I think it's more important we get this right than we get it soon. Here's what I would suggest. February 25th, the whole country is going to see how serious the Republicans are about cooperation. I sincerely doubt that they are. After the 25th, we have to reassess where we're going. If they're not going to be cooperative, I think we have to say to Senator Reid, what can you get 51 votes for? Pass it. Let's go. And work backward from there.
Is there the Senate version of the bill is already incredibly watered down, and apparently in reconciliation you guys are asking for some small adjustments to it, but not large adjustments to it. So what would you offer?
Here's what I think a large adjustment is. Let's talk about somebody who makes $30,000 a year. In the Senate bill, with a family of $30,000 a year. In the Senate bill, that family would have to pay upwards of $2,500 a year for health insurance. In the House bill, they'd be on Medicaid. Big difference. Big difference.
Well, that's a big difference. And I know the unions were against the excise tax, and to them that's a big difference.
No, it's not just to the unions. It's to, people that have worked hard and given up wages in exchange for better benefits that are going to potentially find those benefits taxed. So I think that's something a lot of people don't like.
So what, if any, further concessions would you give to the Republicans after having already given them all of these amendments and all of these concessions for free, for nothing, because you got no votes out of it?
Yeah,
if they say, hey, look, here's what we're looking for, we need you to reach out, how would you, quote unquote, reach out? What further concessions would you give them?
I don't want to be specific about that now, because why should we negotiate against ourselves? I mean, I think the burden is on them to come in and say, look, here's something we could support. Here's something we could vote yes on. I don't think the expectation here is that they be friendly and say friendly things in a meeting. I think they got to come in and say what they would vote for. And if they want to vote for letting insurance companies continue to discriminate against people because they got sick in the past, we can't support that. If they want to say that they're going to support leaving 47 million people uninsured and hoping that someday things will get better, which is what we've done for 40 years in this country, we can't support that. But I think the burden's on them to come in and say what they're for. Look, people know what we're for because we've gone through a 7-month process here. We've had a lot of votes and a lot of debates, and some people like what we're for, some people don't. But we've been pretty explicit about this. The Republicans have played, the old political game of being against everything and for nothing. The President's going to give them a chance to see what they're for.
Final topic for you then. We're talking to Congressman Rob Andrews from New Jersey's 1st Congressional District. Eric Cantor and John Boehner have basically said you got to start from scratch. We accept, just as you said, absolutely nothing, and we'd like to start this whole process over and hopefully take several more years and then see if we can kill it in other ways. I'm reading into their statements a little bit. Do you have a response to Representative Cantor and Representative Boehner?
Yeah, here's what my response would be. Our bill has a provision that says insurance companies can't discriminate against somebody who had cancer or diabetes. Are you for that or against it? Our bill has a provision that someone who cleans houses for a living can get on Medicaid. Are you for that or against it? All this nonsense about starting all over in a fresh bipartisan process, that's what politicians say when they don't want to do anything. We want to do things that will make this country better, and I've been specific here about a couple of them. Let's see where they are, whether they're for these or not. Let's raise our hands and vote yes or no.
So but one obvious follow-up to that is, if they're not, are you guys going to run ads saying, hey, you know what? John Boehner is the guy who prevented you from getting health care if you have a pre-existing condition?
Yes, we are. But I'll tell you what. First, we're going to try to pass a bill that fixes it, and we're not simply doing this as an exercise to run ads. That'd be pretty easy to do. We want to get this problem solved. But yeah, in the fall, if the campaign's about the failure to pass health care, we'll see who the public thinks failed to get the job done.
Right.
Absolutely.
And I don't say the ads as a matter of, I'd like to get more Democrats elected.
I would.
Yeah. I say the ads in terms of, look, there's going to be a political price to pay if you don't vote with us. And that's how you really get bipartisanship.
I agree. And listen, these guys are going to be trapped in their own statements. They're all over the record saying that they want to lower costs and they want to get more people insured and they want to rein in abusive insurance company practices. Well, if they want these things, vote for it. Wanting something doesn't get it done.
All right.
And I want to see what they really are willing to do and where they really stand on these issues.
There you have it. Congressman Rob Andrews from New Jersey, thank you so much for joining
You're
us.
welcome.
I really appreciate
Like to be back with you again.
Thank you.
Can't get enough of the Young Turks? Well, then subscribe to the TYT's YouTube channel. What's the matter with you?